This wasn't some backwoods plot, this was a suburban street. Lisa screeched as she toppled a basket of heirloom tomatoes, acting like they'd insulted her personally. Juice splattered across the pavement like a crime scene. "Take this filth to a flea market or whatever hole you crawled out of," she yelled. In an instant, my quiet Sunday, my modest tomato stand, and maybe a shred of my dignity were crushed under her expensive sandal and a tsunami of arrogance. But Lisa didn't know me. I don't shatter easily. I root deep. When you stomp a seed, you just bury it further where it grows tougher. Before all this chaos, I was just a guy with a backyard hobby. No enemies, not even with the HOA. I worked remote tech gigs, kept to myself, and grew tomatoes because it brought me joy. San Marzanos, Brandywines, Black Crims, you name it, I nurtured it. My yard wasn't fancy, no fountains or manicured lawns, just rows of green VY basking in the sun, filling the air with that earthy, homegrown scent. Neighbors would wave, ask about my crops, and sometimes I'd hand out a tomato or two. Then one day, someone asked if I sold them. I shrugged. Why not? It started small: a wooden table, a tomatoes pay what you want sign, a cash box, and a folding chair. It wasn't about profit, it was about connection. People stopped by with smiles. Kids picked their favorites. Old Mrs. Rivera claimed my tomatoes eased her joint pain, though I figured it was her new low-sodium diet doing the trick. For a few weekends it felt like I'd stumbled into something genuine, something that knit people together. Then Lisa showed up. She didn't bother with introductions. She swooped in high ponytail, yoga pants worth more than my grocery budget, radiating superiority that could wilt plants from a block away. She ignored the tomatoes, jabbed a finger at my sign, and declared, "This isn't an approved commercial venture." I blinked. "They're tomatoes," I said. "From my yard." She snorted. "It's a business. We don't do yard businesses here." Then she whipped out her phone, snapping pics of my stand, me, even the cash box, like I was running a cartel through produce. "This is all going to the HOA," she huffed. I figured she was bluffing. It wasn't a real business, no ads, no crowds, nothing serious. But the next day, an HOA letter arrived. Unauthorized commercial display. Dulaw 50 fine. I almost laughed. Then I noticed my irrigation hose slashed clean near the spigot, Lisa style. Still, I wasn't backing down. I patched the hose, shifted the stand onto my lawn, and swapped the sign for "Homegrown Tomatoes Donations Only." The neighborhood loved it more. They brought jam, recipes, even a note from a kid who said my tomatoes made his grandma's salads the highlight of summer. My stand wasn't a problem, it was a treasure. Naturally, that made Lisa despise it even more. She upped the ante. One morning I found dog crap smeared on my stand. Another time my baskets were overturned, tomatoes smashed into the street. I set up a security camera. Caught her at 5:37 a.m. Hooded up, sunglasses on, sneaking across my lawn like an HOA assassin. Dumping something near my Brandywines weed killer, I'd bet. The footage wasn't crystal clear, but it was enough. I posted a still on the community Facebook group, "Tomato Bandit Strikes Again." It blew up. Lisa denied it, accused me of slander, called an emergency HOA meeting about aggressive gardening. Her latest gripe? The tomato VYNE smell triggered her allergies. She waved a tissue at the meeting like it was proof. I suggested she take a different route. That only stoked her rage. "This is a neighborhood, not a farm," she snapped. "If you want to play pioneer, buy a barn." I tried to de-escalate. I kept telling myself it wasn't worth it. But when I got home one Sunday to find my stand flipped, wood splintered, tomatoes pulped into the pavement, and a note reading, "Get a real job, loser, something broke," I stood there, tomato guts on my shoes, watching Lisa and her clique sip mimosas on her pristine patio, giggling probably at me. Then I saw it, the city-owned strip of grass next to her driveway. Not her land. My mind raced. My fingers twitched. I wasn't thinking tomatoes anymore, I was thinking permits, zoning, a bigger stand she couldn't crush. So I went inside, fired up my laptop, and got to work. The next weekend, Lisa woke up to a new reality. Tents, tables, signs, musicians, a chalkboard proclaiming, "Welcome to Veggie Village Community Farmers Market, City Approved." Right by her driveway? A corn roasting booth, perfectly placid, no way in, no way out. She'd wanted a fight. She picked one with a grower. The sun rose on a transformed Sunday. Quiet lawns gave way to a lively sprawl of tents and chatter as Veggie Village launched. I'd barely slept, fueled by spite, adrenaline, and coffee, but seeing Lisa stumble out in her robe, clutching a smoothie, staring at the soap booth blocking her, and that was my real jolt. "What is this?" she barked at the beekeeper by her curb. "Farmer's Market," he chirped, pointing to the sign. Her glare swung to me. I was mid-sale, handing a kid some cherry tomatoes while her dad paid with sourdough. I waved. She didn't wave back. This wasn't a rogue move. I dug into city rules after her last attack. That strip by her driveway? City property. The market? Permitted, insured, even tied to a charity for school gardens. Bulletproof. She could scream all she wanted. She was stuck behind lavender oils and pickled carrots. Word spread fast. Within 20 minutes, neighbors flocked over, bags swinging. Volunteers guided folks with chalk arrows. A busker strummed pop covers by the squash table. By 10 a.m. it was a crowd. Lisa stood on her driveway like a general who'd already lost. At 10:07 the cops arrived, her doing no doubt. They strolled through, eyeing jams and spoons, and reached me. I handed over my permit packet. One officer nodded. "All good. Busy day, huh?" I gave him sun-dried tomatoes. He took 2. Lisa stormed up. "He's blocking my property. This is illegal." The officer stayed calm. "Ma'am, it's on city land, not yours." "No issue." She gaped. I held up my smoothie cucumber mint. "Want one?" As the cops left, she trembled with fury. Then pure poetry. Toddlers chasing bubbles trampled her flower bed. She shrieked. Their parents apologized. One kid yelled, "Her house smells like cabbage." It became the day's slogan. Someone chalked it on a board. The next week, I didn't just keep it going, I grew it. More vendors, artists, even a guy with fresh-laid eggs. Lisa built barricades, cones, signs, gnomes tied like sentries. Someone knitted them tiny protest hats. One read, "Free the veggies." The HOA waded in. Lisa stormed their meeting with photos and a binder thicker than a cookbook, ranting about noise, smells, and radical relish. But the neighbors, now my vendors, my supporters, pushed back. They shared how Veggie Village brought joy, boosted small businesses, cut loneliness. One guy said it saved his marriage via salsa sales. His wife nodded. I found an HOA loophole. My lot, Precho, was exempt from commercial bans if the city said yes. I had that yes. Lisa's face went beet red. The board punted, "We'll review it, HOA code for we're scared to fight." Then came the shirts. A local printer made Veggie Village, born in spite, HOA Sir VY vor tees. They sold out fast. Someone sold Lisa caricature mugs with her line, "This is a neighborhood, not a farm." She tried suing the printer. He countersued. It fizzled at the clerk's desk. I almost felt bad once, watching her sulk on her porch as the market hummed. Was it loneliness under her anger? Control slipping away? But that faded when she called the fire department over a rogue flame, my kettle corn popper. They warned her for a false report. Despite it all, I didn't want her ruin just stopped. But every time she attacked, Veggie Village grew. Corn vendors multiplied. Face painting became a puppet show. Goats arrived, one named Lisa. People snapped selfies with the goat Lisa. A candle maker sold Lisa repellent lavender. Profits rolled in, not just mine. We funded food pantries, gave seniors free veggies, kids free flowers. It wasn't revenge, Anna Marie, it was a movement. Lisa watched from her porch, jaw tight, missing the point. She'd sown this harvest.